Nice little pick to help enhance the game of Sand King Storm, even Weaver for the same reason the Storm. You want to go in super aggressive, you've got the global silence to protect you.
Oh, and there it is, you called it, the Terrorblade pick. But likewise, Armel can try and go for some blinds for a little bit of the last hit harassment. How do you feel like it sort of evens out, though, in the
bottom lane, by the way? A lot of damage coming out. It doesn't look like it'll be a kill, but...
Or used.
If he hits another torrent... Oh, the creep's gonna block him. What? That's a disaster. Oh, Terrorblade, he didn't realize.
Trying to go for the Torrent. Is going to be able to break the salve. They hit it. Vision is there. The right click's coming through, and RR is going to go down. They draw first blood for Fly Solo.
All in all, it's still early days here. Tinker's doing well in the mid lane. I think that's the other big thing is, like, it's not all about the Terrorblade for Clutch gamers. So, Tinker's doing well at mid. You're not too worried about him not necessarily free farming that bottom.
Ooh, and now
be another initiation
for it. There's going to be a Torrent after the X. They get the Burrow Strike on the Ogbang, though, and trying to turn around. They might be able to bring him off the Purge to take down any bit of mitigation, but he's still going to fall. And now RR, he ends up going down as well, but Silencer has shown up and maybe going to be able to kill off Fly Solo. He's out of there. I kind of have a good idea that this is all going on. Meantime, Jules up here as well as the Weaver trying to control up Hana. It might be a little bit in trouble. They do have a Fire Blast to break any TP potential as well, so the chase, Fire Blast there, right click's going to come through. He's able to dodge away from the Crush as well, and well, they get a kill. This Arcane Curses with the sprint on, dealing a ton of damage, brought down to 64 HP there. Oh. Meanwhile, Fly Solo in a little bit of trouble. He does have his ulti, ends up popping it now, goes for maybe a TP out. No, they're going to turn. Metamorphosis, X-Torrent, again, a little bit off the mark. Hasn't been able to hit those perfectly, but Fly Solo will live while Jules dies.
With the Tinker coming up, it's kind of that stage where if Tinker ever TP's in and you've gone on someone else, it means you don't have spells to throw at Tinker. He's going to get a couple layers of March down. You can't fight in that March. You can't even fight into like a double heat-seeking missiles at this point with them leveled up to level 3 missiles. So very easy for the Tinker to deter any aggression, and you're going to need this Sand King to be lingering around ready to kind of catch the Tinker as he enters the fight. They have to have some hero throwing spells at Tinker.
All right, Ogbang, everything purged off for the moment, turns for the Sunder, able to stay alive, really well played, but the Global is going to come out, but the boat came out first. Might be able to live through with the Rum buff if they can get enough heals, but no, it's not. They had already used the False Promise, and so because of that, Terrorblade is going to fall. Amel's still very high in terms of his mana, can think about maybe keep somebody alive, but it's just too much damage coming out here from Mineski. They can continue the chase now, and, well, Remnant for Vision in just a moment if they want. They pull back in the Kunkka. That is going to be 3 dead and a very big win there from Mineski. And if they're not careful, Amel maybe gonna, oh no, they turn on to Miracle. Nicely played with Hana getting that Blink Dagger.
Response.
Meanwhile, down bottom, they're going to try and go on to Miracle, but RR is in the area as well. They Blink Crush. Mineski is going to end up being able to turn it back around now. Global Silence comes out as well, but maybe in a little bit of trouble. Can they control up and kill off RR? Certainly. Looks like Miracle is going to be X back in as well. Pull, the boat connects. Sentry wards are all over the damn place, so they will be able to spot him out.
Sand King early on can be greedy and not pre-cast the Epicenter if he goes for the Burrow Epicenter, but it only works if the Global's there instantly. But he got stunned the second after his Burrow. It was a bit of misfortune perhaps, or just Clutch Gamers being ready, and if the Global Silence had been half a second earlier, the Epicenter goes off, Slaughter dies. There's probably no real counterplay there for Clutch Gamers, because that Epicenter would have just completely zoned them out and got kills. Instead, they're dropping one by one.
In here, they're going to be able to go on a Ninja Boogie almost behind the Tier 2 tower. Clutch Gamers, these deep wards.
It's got the Sunder off at the tower. He's fighting 1v2, gets the Sunder off, is still fairly low, needs to be a bit careful, but there's no Epicenter to fight into.
Oh my god, they've got him. RR in trouble. Oh, able to get the Burrow Strike, so he's away for the moment. Miracle has shown up as well, so possibly be able to find a little bit more. There's bugs on the Kunkka, trying to run out of there, but he is going to fall. Hana is going to have his False Promise there, so a lot of regen coming in. The chase with the Storm Spirit, they're on top of Fly Solo, and they find that kill. So they end up getting a good deal back for the dead Silencer. Yeah, it feels like if they can sort of put their pedal to the metal, you've still got that great answer for the Tinker now in the Storm Spirit as well. So the game does, at least in some ways, become a little bit easier, although they have been able to catch Miracle again with this Weaver. They pull him back in. Global comes out, and it doesn't look like, well, another stun. That was a bit of a bash coming out. Now the Burrow Strike only connects onto one, but the Storm Spirit going in as well. He's on top of that Kunkka. He is going to drop. Can they find anything else, though? RR goes down to the Oracle, I believe, actually the right click from the Terrorblade, and now finally they're going to be able to take this tower. Storm Spirit hiding to the side.
Mineski's still here, Storm hiding, but gauging seems difficult without the global silence. They haven't, and without Sanking. So they don't have the sounds, they don't have the control of Sanking, means they can't really burst down the Terrorblade before he gets Metamorphosis, before he gets Sunder off. And with Metamorphosis up, you don't want to fight into him. He does too much damage. So at this point, they may even have to let 2 towers go, which would be a really, really big problem. The Metamorphosis still has a decent duration left up.
Managed to get the Fire Blast off before the Crush, but it is still going to be Miracle trying to stop it. They just don't have a great answer for Abe unless you jump in like that, but the Sunder turnaround is almost going to be able to bring down Bimbo when they do find that kill with the Torrent combo, and now Miracle is also going onto the Oracle. He gets the False Promise off, another X into the boat. Can they find it? Can they kill it? It connects onto 2. Miracle drops down again, and now Bimbo back into the fight. Fly solo. He is never going to die here. He's out of mana at this point, but it does look like with that, Clutch Gamers are finally going to back out. Terrorblade's been able to move around the map. All the tier 1s are down. Tier 2 bottom is about halfway dead as well. And they kind of have solved a lot of the issues. But to me, the big one also is the Kunkka. Like, his constant counter initiations, they need some type of an answer for it.
Yeah, it's... the global silence is, I guess, meant to be their way of taking the team fights, but I feel like they haven't gotten the most value of... They're always used defensively. We're seeing it here. If it gets the Slaughter...
Well, the epicenter, that might be the turnaround that they need. It's not looking like it's going to happen, though. Amel just jumps in and kills off the Storm again. It's too much.
Tinker, while very strong right now, has been pseudo-counterpicked. There's a Storm, there's... I mean, Sanking's got like a pretty good chance of catching him as well. Silencer with the global silence, so... I imagine Clutch Gamers are thinking, like, let's use this Aghanim's Tinker timing to really get a lot done.
Oh, it's smoke-on-smoke action as Mineski and Clutch Gamers are probably going to run into each other here. And it looks like Jules is going to be the first one to break the smoke, and they will end up revealing themselves on it. Sand King getting his Blink Dagger broken as well by that rocket. Can he get it off here? It looks like the boat to pull him back in is going to be able to connect on Ninja Boogie as well. There's no chance for a counterplay, and Clutch Gamers, with the creep wave already at the tier 2, should be able to secure this and maybe more.
I guess so. The alternative is getting like the Hex type items or the like Shivers if you want something like defensive to tank up more with. I don't mind it. The lower respawn is always going to be pretty nice. It allows him to obviously use more spells in a fight. He's got a really big mana pool, a lot of mana regen too, so... He's going to get caught here.
Armel deep in, wanting to bring him down. Can they find the kill? They do. Sniper. All right, but now the X, the pullback in. He might end up dying from this. Can they kill him off? They can. So they lose the Tinker, but they also end up losing their Storm Spirit. And another X now onto the Sand King. A collection of interesting decisions to fight because the Terrorblade is all over him. And now they've got the Ogre as well. Mineski getting maybe a little bit too big for their britches here. And it looks like they are going to lose Jules as well. A Silencer and a Storm Spirit. He's only died once at the 33-minute mark on this Tinker. I feel like this is just an incredibly good, safe performance from him.
Oh, it's been fantastic. And the one death was a great fight for them. That was when Storm used all his mana, bowled in, and then died, and then they got 2 extra kills. So like even this one death was to his team's advantage.
Global now committed for this one. They are going to be able to keep the Kunkka alive, and now BKB is wearing off. He's out of mana. Oh, wow. That really hurts.
It sets him back quite a lot now. Miracle's instantly split pushing the top lane, but the problem is there's still Metamorphosis. They kill that Storm without having to use Metamorphosis, and they use Global Silence, so there's a 70-second window. High ground push coming, no Global Silence to worry about. Very likely we see a Rax here even.
Oh, there's the burrow. They're going to jump forward, get the kill. He just evaporated. Sand King is no longer here, and soon to be the barracks as well, as Abang taking a good bit of damage, has Sunder BKB as well if he wants to use it, turns it around, takes down Storm pretty quickly with that one. And now Hana, maybe a bit too far forward, BKB pop for him as well, amp damage now onto Miracle. They do manage to take down that barrack, trying to chase a bit further forward, but Hana, can they take him down? It doesn't look like it's going to happen. They get the false promise onto Armel as well, he's not going to die. Abang may be in some trouble, but now the lasers are going to start to go out in the Hana, 2-person crush, Burrow Strike as well, but can they bring down this Metamorphosis? He's just going to be able to live through it. The false promise? No, he's gone. Okay, so they lose 2. They get the Terrorblade in the end. Fate's Edict was almost enough to keep him alive, but yeah, they did their job in the end here, and they're going to get the Kunkka as well.
They got the melee racks, so definitely what Clutch Gamers were hoping to get out of that, but perhaps a bit more lost.
So if you are Clutch Gamers at this point, then do you feel the need, we already talked about them maybe being a little bit on a clock, you have to wait the full 2 minutes before you end up trying to go for any real big push play, or does it all depend on if you can find a pick-off in the woods here maybe?
I think, yeah, if you find a pick-off, then you can go perhaps sooner, but realistically you're just taking map control right now. Like, they're setting up an enemy jungle, trying to find a pick-off and get map control. They go on Miracle here.
Well, Hana also now turned upon, but they've got Oracle in the area to keep him alive. Miracle, he is actually not taking a ton of damage from this. They have the Rum buff as well now. Turned on to Jules. Ogre is going to die. Okay, Storm Spirit down on very low mana, but he does have the Aegis. Epicenter going to connect on to 3. Abeng, maybe no, not able to get off the Sunder. He has ended up going down there, and really, really bad fight here for Clutch Gamers. They're going to end up losing Armel as well. This was a huge win. If the Aegis was won, I mean, this is off the charts for him.
Dang. That's why that post-bottom racks meant so, like, not going for the racks meant...
Oh, he's going for it. He got him.
It was very close to getting off. It was like mid-cast. If he got that Sunder off, I'm curious to see how the fight would have gone. I think Mineski still had the edge, but Abeng probably would have been able to get 1, maybe 2 more kills for himself before dying.
I really like this play moving in here, though, and taking down the other shrine and trying to secure up the vision.
They're smoked.
Oh, God, this could be huge. You do end up coming out of the smoke now. They see that the Weaver is moving. Chasing.
The glyph is like a dead giveaway.
Find it. They're there. Hex on top of the Kunkka. The Global comes out as well. They are going to be able to keep him alive. Ghost Scepter as well as Echo Shell on top from that Lotus Orb. And now, control for the moment, but Storm not going to go down. A secondary Sheepstick onto Abeng. Controlled, but gets the BKB off. Turns to fight. Miracle is still so elusive in these engagements as well. And it does look like they're going to be able to run down the Silencer for the moment. And they killed off Miracle as well. There's the stun. 3 dead for Mineski. And I think that Clutch Gamers might have been able to pull this one back out. We'll see how long the Roche respawn timer is, but that is going to be a huge couple of kills.
Sandking's fast respawn will perhaps help him out. Storm can ball... He's going to have to ball lightning this wave without getting caught by a Slatter Blink Crush or an X. Doesn't have a Lincoln Sphere. Doesn't have a BKB. I'm not sure how much Bimbos want to go for this one, but he kind of has to.
Yeah. Pulls back in. There wasn't an X there, and there also wasn't a Crush, as Hana was pretty far forward, but Abeng... Eyes on the prize, melee barracks about to go down. They do jump on top of him again, but BKB not quite there yet. He is going to be able to be healed up with the False Promise, and now on to Miracle, but he gets the time-lapse off. Sheepstick, counter-initiation, Abeng taking a ton of damage here. The Fire Blast as well, but he's able to survive. The Fate's Edict doing a ton to mitigate that magical damage, and now Storm is dead. 100 seconds with no buyback. And I think this could potentially be it if they can keep Abeng alive long enough. He does have a Sunder in 19 seconds. Can they make it work, though? They're chasing him down. They do so much damage, and he is going to fall. Not able to make it happen. Oh, there's a lot coming out from the Tinker, and it could have been so good, but they don't end up making it work. And Mineski hold on for dear life. Might even find Fly solo. They do. Fire Blast to boot.
Now they're going to have to find a way to make sure they get off the global silence they're looking for around this Roshan pit. Weaver very farmed with Daedalus, another Demon Edge, can buy an MKB, can buy a Rapier if you're feeling desperate, although the MKB against what is now a completed Butterfly Terrorblade is going to be probably the item he's looking for. Yeah. Definitely important to note Terrorblade does not have buyback, though. Something, I mean, maybe not apparent to Mineski, though. Something that if he dies, it could be very problematic.
They have caught Miracle. Do they know it, though? The X is there. They try and pull him back in. It's not going to be there, though. Hana... They end up making it work. The Lotus Orb ends up paying off. They pop the BKB for Abeng and now trying to burn through that mana Bimbo. He's forced back out and away, but Miracle just does so much damage, and the Epicenter is there as well. Can they get the Sunder off? They got the False Promise, looking to turn and take this fight. It's not quite going to be enough as of yet, and it does look like, well, Abeng for the moment is going to fall. They end up taking down several more, and it looks like the Tinker goes down as well. RR is all over Fly solo. In a second, they could probably finish him off also. Miracle did so much in this fight, and they're going to have to buy back, but they don't have the buyback on the Terrorblade, as you mentioned, and now Roshan is for them. Mineski win a huge one.
What a big... There's a few spells where this is why, like, I remember when the acronyms on Anti-Mage was brought in and people were like, holy crap, this is so good, but there's a few spells you just don't want to Lotus. At this point, Clutch Gamers are showing no signs of trying to take a fight, to initiate in. They know there's a double global silence that they're fighting into. This Clutch Gamers team is scared. They're going to smoke up and go for a play here, but they're playing, like, outside of, like, smoke plays like this, they're playing very timid. They're hiding in their base. They're not... Mineski is showing all their heroes on their map, typically, and Clutch Gamers are unable to do anything about it.
Well, maybe they can make something of it here as they're moving in, and we'll be able to go for the wraparound. Currently Silencer. Oh, this would be a huge pick if they could find him, but they don't quite spot it. It's Jules instead. And this isn't the pick that they're looking for. They should be able to find this kill pretty easily. Global comes out. That's the first one. Able to get the Yule Scepter, lift up the Global to follow, though. And Amel now controlled. Nobody is there to help him out. They're trying to get into range, but it's not going to be there. Burrow Strike, Epi on to absolutely everybody. And Abeng able to turn this back around now. Does have the Sunder. It's the 10-second cool one. Ends up going for the Refresher as well. Turning to fight Miracle. Eats the cheese. Trying to stay alive. Amel bought back. They're able to take him down. So Miracle is dead. 2 minutes. Does have buyback. They've already bought back on the Storm as well. Hana is going to drop there by the Storm Spirit. Abeng, he does have Sunder again. He didn't end up getting it off, though. So he falls, and that one really hurts.
How much can he do without Refresher, without Metamorphosis? That's disastrous for him. He thought if he got that extra Sunder off after that Refresh, it could have worked out for him, because he could have kept fighting and maybe got another kill, but he's going to buy back, and perhaps Mineski will get scared just because it's a buyback, but if they know he's got no meta, they may look to force this fight.
Oh, God. And, I mean, you do have Miracle who's taken a good bit of damage, but they found Amel again, and he is going to drop now. They've also taken down this Kunkka. Hana in just a little bit too late. They buy back on that Terrorblade and able to try to create any little bit of damage that he can, but they're just all over him. And I think that Mineski have finally done it. Clutch Gamers, well, Sunder, okay, maybe. Possibly. It's the 10-second Sunder. It's pretty good, but they don't have the damage.
Yeah, he's still a melee creep. He's still unable to hurt the Storm or hurt the Weaver. Weaver took that entire fight on about 20% HP, but there was just no real threats to him without Metamorphosis up. Like a Slatter Blink Crush with a Metamorphosis TB, they can kill the Weaver, but without the meta, TB has no way to get on top of heroes to do damage, and Mineski, playing it safe, not going for the throne, are going to go for the Mega Creeps, it looks like. I have no problems with that call. You're in a tense game in the playoffs for the Kiev Major. Go for the safe call, take the Mega Creeps, don't risk it going for a throne you may not get. I believe they could have gotten it, but either way, it's like, let's secure this game and then see if we can get the tier 4s next.
Oh, and I mean, Terrorblade bought a Shadow Blade there, trying to run out and see if he could do something, but there's just, I mean, they have a gem on the Ogre as well. He's standing guard. A very, very rough one with 50 seconds, no Tinker, and no Metamorphosis for another 27. All the hopes and dreams are here at this last little head, and well, they get a crush. There's the Lincoln Sphere. Global comes out, and that potentially could be it. They're on top of him. Yeah, it's done.
What a way to start the playoffs for SEM.
Mineski ended up taking a big win over Clutch Gamers. They were down a really long time, down 2 melee creeps, in fact, and they end up winning. Come out, but the boat came out first. Might be able to live through with the rum buff if they can get enough heals, but no, it's not. They had already used the false promise, and so because of that, Terrorblade is going to fall. Amel's still very high in terms of his mana. Can think about maybe keep somebody alive, but it's just too much damage coming out here from Mineski. They can continue the chase now, and, well, Remnant for Vision in just a moment if they want. They pull back in the Kunkka. That is going to be 3 dead, and a very big win there from Mineski. And if they're not careful, Amel maybe gonna, oh no, they turn on to Miracle. Nicely played with Hana getting that Blink Dagger.
Response.
Meanwhile, down bottom, they're gonna try and go on. This is all going on. Meantime, Jules up here as well as the Weaver trying to control up Hana. It might be a little bit in trouble. They do have a Fire Blast to break any TP potential as well. So the chase, Fire Blast there, right click's gonna come through. He's able to dodge away from the crush as well, and well, they get a kill. This Arcane Curses with the sprint on, dealing a ton of damage, brought down to 64 HP there. Oh. Meanwhile, Fly Solo in a little bit of trouble. He does have his ulti, ends up popping it now, goes for maybe a TP out. No, they're going to turn. Metamorphosis, X-Torrent, again, a little bit off the mark. Hasn't been able to hit those perfectly, but Fly Solo will live while Jules dies.
With the Tinker coming up, it's kind of that stage where if Tinker ever TPs in and you've gone on someone else, it means you don't have spells to throw a Tinker. He's going to get a couple layers of March down. You can't fight in that March. You can't even fight into like a double heat-seeking missiles at this point with them leveled up to level 3 missiles. So very easy for the Tinker to deter any aggression, and you're going to need this Sand King to be lingering around ready to kind of catch the Tinker as he enters the fight. They have to have some hero throwing spells at the Tinker.
All right, Abeng, everything purged off for the moment, turns for the Sunder, able to stay alive, really well played, but the Global is going to...
Nice little pick to help enhance the game of Sand King Storm, even Weaver for the same reason the Storm. You want to go in super aggressive, you've got the Global Silence to protect you.
Well, and there it is, you called it, the Terrorblade pick. But likewise, Armel can try and go for some blinds for a little bit of the last hit harassment. How do you feel like it sort of evens out, though, in the...
Bottom lane, by the way, a lot of damage coming out. It doesn't look like it'll be a kill, but...
Or used.
If he hits another torrent, oh, the creep's gonna block him.
What?
That's a disaster. Oh,
my
he didn't realize.
Trying to go for the torrent is gonna be able to break the salve. They hit it. Vision is there. The right click's coming through, and RR is gonna go down. They draw first blood for Fly Solo.
All in all, it's still early days here. Tinker's doing well in the mid lane. I think that's the other big thing is like it's not all about the Terrorblade for Clutch gamers. So Tinker's doing well at mid. You're not too worried about him not necessarily free farming that bottom.
Ooh, and now
be another
going
initiation
in for it. There's going to be a torrent after the X. They get the Burrow Strike on the Ogbang though, and trying to turn around. They might be able to bring him off the Purge to take down any bit of mitigation, but he's still going to fall. And now RR, he ends up going down as well, but Silencer has shown up and maybe going to be able to kill off Fly Solo. He's out of there. I kind of have a good idea that this